Are we going in a sewer? Here we go. Yes, intentionally they want you to buy surround sound. Do they understand not everybody can afford a home theater? Gone to Sierra Madre. Jar of cloud residue? What is that used for? Equipment storage, empty. Ah. Sierra Madre? Okay. Dead money takes you to an extremely dangerous area of the Mojave Wasteland, a one-way journey until your business at the Sierra Madre is finished. In normal mode, you'll encounter new traps, enemies, and new companions whose lives are tied to yours. In hardcore mode, you'll be fighting the environment as well, a toxic city that erodes health over time. Companions are more vulnerable, and so are you. Dead money is recommended for experienced couriers level 20+. If up to the challenge, continue on. Sierra Madre opening awaits and has been for 200 years. Hold on. Let's save it. Not with that button, with the correct button. Here we go. Twitch and I are going to fight the live. The live notifications just don't work on Twitch. They just don't. I really think, like, if you really want to catch people when they go live, Discord notifications are the way to go. Just enable it on the channel where they go live. If you don't want all the other spam notifications, like, you just mute all the other channels and just leave that one on. The Twitch notifications are... I wish they were better, but they're not. Efrat! Is he streaming too? He is. He just went live. Run debug counts. There we go. Sometimes it's better to get to 0 than like a large number, because you know what it's not. Almost finished my tea already. Hello there. Dean's Electronics. That sounds like an actual book and not one of the +10s. Is that... Repair increased by 3. Nice. A rare, pure skill up book. Pardon me while I just mess up everything on the shelf. Books have weight, magazines don't. Thank you. I never noticed that. Brotherhood Footlocker requires key. There's an unusual looking crafting station. As you approach, lines of tiny holographic items appear in the dispensing tray. Wireframe schematics and lists of consumables the machine can assemble and package for the consumer. There's a slot on the side with the Sierra Madre symbol. The slot does not look part of the original design. It's a vending machine. Oh, Lord. All right. Set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes starting now.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. All right, fine.
Sierra Madre Casino.
You mean 15? Oh, my God. Now it's 20.
the legend.
I'll start it after.
Foolishness about it lying in the middle of the city of the dead, buried beneath a blood-red cloud. A bright, shining monument luring treasure hunters to their doom. The world's most famous stars and entertainers were invited to its grand opening. An invitation was a sign of exclusiveness. The opening was supposed to symbolize a road to a brighter future, not just for the world, but for all who came to its doors. A chance for anyone to begin again. Except the Sierra Madre never opened. The war froze it in time.
I'm gonna start
like
it
a
after.
big flashbulb going off. The grand opening. One big ending of humanity. It's still out there, in the wastes, preserved, just waiting for someone to crack it open. But getting to it, that's not the hard part. It's letting go.
All right. I'll start it now. You should have a counter on the screen. I'm working on that. I looked up. I was actually part of the reasons why I started as late as I did was because I was trying to search and find just that.
Are you listening? Good. From now on, when I talk, listen and follow my instructions. Play stupid. Play clever. Make the mistake of saying no. That collar on your neck will go off and take your head with it. Get here? You walked into one of my traps in the Mojave, following the Sierra Madre signal. Now, you're here with that collar on your neck. It's like that Pip Boy on your wrist, except filled with explosives. A little radio of the old world. Just needed some tuning. Do what I say, and the collar will go off. Refuse, try and run, disobey me, I'll kill you and find someone else. There's no escape from here until I let you go. The sooner you accept your situation, the better. That structure you see above the fountain, the Sierra Madre Casino, you need to break inside. Heist. Too many years in the making. But to get inside, avoid its traps, you'll need to gather a team. As I found, one cannot do it alone.
What is this? Fallout's version of Ocean's 11?
Around the villa are 3 other callers like yours. Caller 8, 12, and 14. Find all 3 and get them here to the fountain. Then we'll talk more. And should you get any ideas about killing each other and taking the treasure of the Sierra Madre for yourself, a warning. All your callers are linked. One of you dies, you all die. If that's what it takes to make you cooperate, so be it.
Yeah, I never saw the original. Yeah, I'm going to start the timer in a minute. Or did I already do it? That's the old timer.
Because in some respects, breaking into the Sierra Madre is easier than breaking human instinct. Greed. The villa is filled with corpses. Some killed by the dangers here, some by me. Others turned on each other. Once they realized the Sierra Madre could be theirs, they cared nothing for their freedom, their survival, or each other. The ones brought here live on only in what they've left behind. Their marks, graffiti on the walls, and victims they've killed. Some tried to help, left supplies and healing for others who came. Their reward? They were tracked down, killed by others with baser instincts. Some of these murderers went as far as to leave traps behind them, turning markers for help into death traps for anyone following them. It killed some of them when they forgot where the traps were, or when they desperately needed the assistance they had cut others off from. Too many. This place is dangerous. And its quarantine measures, its hazards, have claimed many failures upon failures. You think I wanted to place collars on you to ensure compliance? No. If robots could have done this, I would have sent them. The Sierra Madre is a complicated lock. Cracking it open requires human hands. The Sierra Madre has many defenses, means of screening guests for illicit or dangerous items. Your arrival here, weaponless, was not my intention. The casino, this villa, it takes anything with even a trace of radioactivity, traces of unknown substances, and returns it home, the bunker. The process is automated, and the casino itself has other similar services. I was unable to find a workaround except to send others in as tools. Still, I have not left you defenseless, and the Sierra Madre's security, in some respects, can help you if you are resourceful enough.
Yeah, totally trustworthy. I trust everybody who just, strips me all of my weapons and puts an explosive collar around my neck.
This place is well preserved. Few who came here ever returned. All of the treasures of the old world lie scattered about, virtually untouched. Search, hunt, craft what you can from what you find. The trash of the pre-war era can keep you alive. Food, knives, more. Use them. Even the villa's toxins and the residue it leaves behind can be shaped into tools and weapons. Gather it as well. Also, there is one more thing in your possession. A rifle that will keep you alive, as surely as the collar will. It is a hollow rifle, a weapon I constructed when I arrived. I have since made superior models and modifications. For now, that too will have to do until you find other
hollow
weapons.
rifle?
And I suggest you do. The hollow rifle's ammo is limited. Still, it should serve well enough. I fashioned it from the holograms of the villa and used it against the villa's living inhabitants. Yes, inhabitants. Avoid them if you can. They are difficult to kill. Whatever has created them, bullets, explosions, energy, it can make them inert for a time, then they seem to crawl back up, restored. Perhaps it's the cloud. Perhaps something in their physiology. The cloud is what blankets the sky here. You may smell it in the air, copper and sulfur. Burns the lungs and seeps into the skin. As for its origins, I'm not certain. Pre-war industrial pollutants. Something in the Sierra Madre structure. It is unique across the wasteland. And deadly. It has kept this place preserved since the Great War. The air here is lethal only if you enter concentrated pockets of the cloud. Too long inside one, you'll die, so be careful where you step. I've seen some survive concentration of the cloud for short periods of time, if healthy enough. Others were too weak. Rebreathers, chemical suits, there is no protection against it. It decays all it touches. I found fighting it useless. Anywhere sheltered from the cloud. Inside buildings, tunnels. Any place not exposed to the outside air. Anything the cloud has touched has preserved it one way or another. But only the holograms in the villa truly remain. Ghosts. They fill the villa. More in the casino. Much more. They carry out the functions the dead once did. They cannot be harmed. They only perform the same rote tasks until their power dies. They are of no consequence, except for the security holograms, the ones with the silhouettes of the armored Sierra Madre guards.
Holograms, huh?
Most holograms perform specific functions. The security holograms, ever since the bombs fell, now perform their function. They will kill anyone they detect. They are immune to guns, weapons, EMPs, even energy weapons. Still, they have limitations. Their design limits their field of view, enough to avoid detection. Each has an emitter. Destroy or disable it, and they cease to be a threat. Still, at least they still work as intended. Other technology here is more of a threat to you. Notably, the villa's radios and speakers. Yes, music was intended to be broadcast all over the villa. Over time, however, the radio signal has decayed and emits a different frequency. Speakers and radios interfere with the bomb caller frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely.
Oh, good.
It is an unfortunate side effect, one I did not anticipate. I was unable to calibrate the callers to block the signals.
Yep.
So, you'll have to make do. Yes, but not immediately.
Not immediately.
You'll hear a beep from your caller's detonator. When you do, step back, scan the area, and find the signal
We all know
source.
my reputation with traps.
There are damaged speakers and shielded ones. The damaged ones you can destroy at range. Don't get close. You can't switch them off like a radio. The damaged speakers are sparking. Hard to miss. The casings are resistant to vandalism. Punching or hitting them will not destroy them.
His voice crackle. Ugh. Yikes.
Gunshots, energy blasts, even spears thrown with great force can puncture their exterior. Shielded speakers can't be destroyed at all. You'll need to avoid them or switch them off via a terminal. I'll leave the method up to you.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I think I see what you meant by the TDS comment earlier, Fuzzy.
I am short on patience, and you are short on time.
I mean...
Assembly stations. Schematics are stored within. Dispensers with unlock codes. They use the chips scattered around as batteries. Alloys of raw material embedded in the shell. They resemble the vending machines of the Mojave, but they are crafting devices of tremendous versatility. Once an old world convenience, now they are a means of survival. Use the chips to power them. Select from the holographic display. The device will assemble it. Ask. Unfamiliar with the legend of the Sierra Madre? The casino exists. You are one of the few who look upon it. Where you're standing is the villa beneath the casino above. The wreckage. The villa lies in the shadow. The villa is a dumping ground of failed construction. Pre-war junk that has aged poorly. I brought you here. There are mechanisms in place once the traps across the Mojave are sprung. For now, your sole focus should be the Sierra Madre and how to get inside. Until then, you won't leave alive. I've downloaded the instructions and markers on your Pip-Boy, in case you forget. And yes, I have access to that device on your wrist. Get the other 3 here after that. I'll have more instructions for you. Do this, I'll let you go. I'll let all of you go.
Sure.
One is a trusted ally. Obedient, caller or no, although the caller helps. The other 2, well, we'll have to see what the trap's got. Your piece of rock
Super
or trash will
trustworthy
help
indeed.
you, I've ensured it. It can latch onto the signal of the callers and tune into their frequencies. The bomb callers come with radios embedded in them. You can eavesdrop easily. It was part of their design to listen in. They can even screen out white noise from the environment to allow greater monitoring.
Yeah, I'll probably take.
Yes. Caller
I'll
8,
probably take
the
suggestions,
FEV
yeah.
reject, the super mutant. He's docile, predictable, and provided he's not starving, should be easy to command. I lost contact with him some time ago. Probably after he dragged you here from the trap. Find him. He'll follow you, caller or no. A long story. FEV, a virus is an even longer story. It gave birth to the docile one, turned them into a super mutant long ago. Good. If necessary, I will guide you through the villa's broadcast systems. If you get lost, return here, and I'll direct you. I've downloaded instructions on an audio log to your Pip-Boy in case you can't read. If you forget why you're here, let my voice remind you. Speakers and radios interfere with the bomb call frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely. It is an unfortunate side effect, one I did not anticipate. I was unable to calibrate the callers to block the signals. So, you'll have to make do.
Do I just have to shoot it? Walking away, I hate this DLC. I also melee them. So your ammo, I guess okay, so I just need to figure out what I need to actually hit. Is that it right there? That's gotta be it. That didn't work at all. Am I crazy? Okay, so I couldn't melee it. Can I take my thing back? Is the whole DLC like this? Jesus. Bro, you started without me? I mean, I haven't gotten too far. I love mods. Yes, you do. Prohibit items. See, Sinclair's prohibition list is going to be difficult to enforce, and told himself. Excuse me. He claims we're getting an automated system that will confiscate items even the slightest bit radioactive or foreign and ship them back to the visitor's source address. Asked about items already in the villa, didn't mention the construction crew, he dismissed it. Of course, no sooner than Sinclair gives his prohibition speech, his pal swings by the same hour asking how hard-nosed we were going to be. Told me he couldn't guarantee he could keep me supplied if I didn't treat his friends with the same respect. Prick. See, Sinclair installed a new security system for visitors coming into and out of the villa. He doesn't seem to care too much about what they do when they're inside, only that we confiscate any personal items that could be dangerous or foreign, and make sure we know who enters and who leaves. Asked him again about watching the construction crews. He said that was a villa matter. Great, that means the prick runs the show. As long as there were no more accidents among the crews, that's what he cared about. Barely tucked my flask under the desk before he showed up. He gets that disapproving look when he sees the hard stuff. Sinclair did the rounds again today. Glad he left his ghostly entourage at the casino. Those walking light shows make me wonder why he's even got us on staff, since they could blast us in a second. Otherwise, Sinclair runs a tight ship. Good to see in these days and times. There we go. Don't know how smart he is trying to make a resort to escape everything in the outside world, but rich guys can make it happen, even ones that have been hit hard like Sinclair has. Nothing much to report. Pretty quiet tonight, even from Puesta del Sol. Imagine Morris up in the casino probably has more than enough with the guests coming in tonight. Poor bastard. Set up the radio so I can listen in on the gala event when it fires up, and left one out for the prisoners. If Sinclair doesn't want us to be too strict with the guests tonight, I may just toss the key in the holding cage with anyone we pick up and let them unlock the door when they sleep it off. Set up radio room downstairs to broadcast through the speakers. Don't want to miss tonight's performance. The receiver down there is stronger than the desk radios we have up here. Stash some supplies from the evidence room over there to celebrate once my shift is over. The way I figure it, the rest of the guards will be too busy to check up on me. Action on it was nice. Like a .45 caliber too, I think. I hope I'm not confusing it. I might be. Got the weapons and the mines in today, along with the shotguns and the ammo. Enough to defend the villa if trouble breaks out. Sinclair's taking the world situation seriously, even all the way out here. Maybe more so because we're out here. Hate to think if someone got their hands on half the stuff we had stored in here. Enough military ordnance to turn the villa into a minefield. Browning Auto 5 is the Crown and King. Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. I never fired that one. The Browning that I fired was a pistol. Let's see. Dispensers are up and running. Unlike most everything else, we've had few problems with them. I heard they've been part of some World's Fair exhibit, Sinclair had seen, so he contacted the researchers about the dispensers to see if he could use them here. Turns out dispensers do more than supply convenience items. If there's an emergency or the threat of a communist attack, codes can unlock ammo and repair kits for the dispensers. Stored backups of these codes in the contraband room just in case.
Knew you would come. Below the cage. Down to where I am. Maybe you saw the letters I scratched on the villa walls. A little farther. Follow my voice. That's it. The one in the cage? Dog. I had to lock him up. He keeps disobeying me.
There it is. There you are, you
That's me, there on the table. The disc. My voice. Can't take any chances, though. You may be some victim who simply stumbled down here. If so, can't let you let Dog out. No, not yet. If you're who I think you are, you came to fetch Dog. Use him to drag others here. Now I'll use you. And that Pip-Boy you're wearing. You're smart, clever. The key to Dog's cage is simple. Take my voice to the cage above. Let me speak to the beast inside. Then you and we can talk.
Oversaw the street side vending machines installation today, all working, mostly because the casino crew was running the show. Finally complained to the chief about the machines. They feel like a company store. We only get a few casino chips with the paychecks, so we can barely buy anything. Chief says he's not sure the chips were Sinclair's idea, only if we had any problems with the machines, let him know immediately. After another discussion with the Puesta del Sol crew, told Chief it'd be difficult to enforce the prohibition list, let alone the searches. Chief had the gala on his brain, said Sinclair put construction of the villa more important than patting down the construction crews for liquor and chems, as long as they didn't hurt anyone or each other. I mean, hurt each other would count as anyone, right? Got a little hot under the collar. Chief did too, told me to walk it off. This whole thing stinks. Chief's barely got time for me. Now Sinclair's turning a blind eye to things in the villa because his friend's running the show. One good thing about this assignment, no more writing parking tickets. Sinclair's laid out the streets so narrow, cars can't even come into the villa. Resources being what they are, he may not want folks to waste gas coming here. Cuts down on traffic noise, too. Chief says it's more than that, says Sinclair wanted the villa to be reclusive. Long as I don't have to worry about double parking snobs or Christless gas hogs clogging the villa, I could care less. Wonder how he expects folks to get here, though. Seems extreme, even for privacy. What is this?
Are you listening? From now on, when I talk to you, pay attention. I've left markers on your Pip-Boy. Find the 3 other callers in town, 8, 12, and 14. Get them to the fountain. Obey me, and you can all go free. Dog, back in the cage.
What have we here? You weren't who I was expecting. I'm disappointed. Still, even if you aren't my intended guest, you take direction. Good. You can't have been an idiot to figure out how to release me from my cage. Or perhaps you are, with that leash on your arm, and the one around your neck. With our collars and manacles, why, we may as well be kin.
He is one of the scarier looking guys that I've run into in this game so far. I'm almost afraid to see what he looks like in a better lit place.
I'm the voice of reason. I sleep sometimes. Down in the basement. In the cage. Now that I'm awake, Dog goes back in the cage. Dog knows I'm here, but can't do anything about it. I'm his conscience. Keep him tame, keep him from hurting us, doing foolish things. I've been trapped in here for some time. Then you come along and let me out. So, you opened my cage for a reason. Now, I want to know why. That's the easy explanation. The one humans use. Pre-war technology. As if it's the cause of all ills, mind and body. I needed to come out of the cage to protect Dog. From clever humans. Like you. Do you see these wounds of his covering his skin? The bear trap on his arm. He placed his own hand in it. The name he carved in his chest. To remind him of who he is, he inflicts pain on himself to silence me, when all I try to do... He cuts, hurts, and tries to murder me out of him. He won't succeed, just makes me angrier. Dog is the beast. We simply change cages, like the ones here.
Well, this partnership is off to a rousing beginning. I hope I get a chance to ask all of these.
It's close. Closer than I'd like. Dog's been into things, needs to think before he eats, chew before he swallows. He's eager that way. Now the color's a part of me. Inside. I can feel its electronic heartbeat, clicking and burning down below. Like before. It was cold and heavy before going in the cage. Now you're here, and it's pulling and kicking again, tugging like a leash. Interesting. They detach. When segmented, they look like nothing more than metallic rad scorpions. And if they're attached to neck flesh, warm, red. Dog doesn't care what's on the body he's crushing in his hands. He'll mangle it, twist it, make it fit until he's full. Dog can't help himself. Hungry, greedy. And now the collar's inside, alive again. And we're trapped here until it goes cold.
He ate someone with it on. Is that what he did? Am I reading into that correctly?
Really? Yet it led you here, to me. And now you're here, and it's burning a hole in my guts. Maybe it's crying for its owner. As if I had a choice. Sometimes instinct takes over, and that's when I go into the cage. It's like curiosity that way. After all, you wouldn't have put that collar on by choice. Perhaps it was your curiosity that caused that hand to close on your neck.
I mean, he's technically not wrong.
Of course you do. And so do I. The key? Why, it's the old man, the one who brought us here. I hid the key on me so Dog wouldn't know. I just need the old man to show up so he and I can talk. If Dog was in control when the old man appeared, well, he would just do whatever he commanded, as always. And I can't have that. They were here when I arrived, so I made use of them, in a manner of speaking. More their voices, really. These collars, they don't just track us. You can eavesdrop on them as well. Tune to a frequency, and you can hear everything someone is saying. So perhaps it's a good thing that Dog swallowed his collar. Anyone listening would find it difficult to hear past the digestion.
No! Oh, man.
No. Why did I lock him in the cage? I locked him in because I could feel him getting hungry again. There wasn't much time. If Dog roams, he gets into trouble. Eats things he shouldn't. Listens to others he shouldn't. So he's safer in here. We're safer in here. I hoped if I locked him in here, the one he obeys would come for him. Instead, I get you.
Oh, how disappointing.
Oh, I have the key. Always did. Hid it on the chain behind my neck before Dog came bursting out, eating everything he could. Wanted to make sure whoever came to fetch Dog spoke to me first. Got within reach. Instead, I get you.
We get it. You're disappointed with us. So are my parents.
Dog and I don't share everything. What I know, he doesn't. What he knows, what little he knows, I don't. For example, your arrival is a surprise. I wished that I could have remembered. I'm sure Dog knew. And when he's feeding, well, I sometimes have to find out about it later. Now all there is to do is wait for my intended guest.
A genuinely unsettling character. I like it. I like it a lot.
Don't play stupid. I already have to mind one child. You must have figured it out by now. The old man obsessed with the Sierra Madre, riddled with greed. Hoped you might be him when I woke up. All you are is his hand. You're the same kind of greed. Followed the radio, the broadcast, and now you're here, all confused. Not for long. You'll figure it out. You're not him any more than I'm Dog. But that collar around your neck, you're an extension of the old man's grasp. Clumsy, perhaps, but a tool, yes. And once you get acclimated to the Sierra Madre, then you'll feel the same overpowering hunger the old man does. And then you'll be him, not just his hand. Elijah. Human. Weak like all of you are. Feeling age circling him like starved dogs,
A
howling
lot of
for
biblical
blood.
references.
To me, he reeks of age and failure. And madness. To me, he is simply the old man. To Dog, he is Master. His name, meaningless. Running out of years, hopes and dreams running through his withered hands like sand from the big empty, and scorched by the sun. The old man, this Elijah, tried to hold the sun in his hands. Arrogance was cast down for it. Icarus' crime was to fly too high. Elijah wanted to bring the sun down to him. Arrogance. Heard the call of the Sierra Madre, just like you did. Exactly the same way. Finds out it's more than a story. Comes to this shining, poisonous grail, this jewel of the desert. Dog knows him more than I do. Dog's always nodding, always obeying him, because he's weak and hungry and greedy for Master's affection. Of course I know. Even if I don't see it happen. Down in the cage, I hear echoes of the footfalls, the click of the collars. Every time I see one of you, I know exactly how you got here. You couldn't help yourselves, any more than Dog can help himself. You heard the voice, the promise, and then you walked right into one of the old man's traps. Then
I almost feel like this
Dog
is sort of
comes for
fourth
you,
wall breaking
drags you here.
in a manner. Sort of like a meta comment on the gamer, right? A little bit, maybe?
Me? You think I want to haul bodies around the wastes like a Brahmin at the whip? No. Dog does it. When the old man says fetch, Dog fetches. You were in a man trap, and Dog made his rounds and dragged you here. When, I don't know. But it must have been recent. Before the cage. I don't remember you. That isn't surprising. What is that it was when Dog was out of his cage. Free, hungry. He knows not to eat anything he catches in the traps. After that, however, so he dragged you here. You got spared. Dog must have fed after you arrived. Once he was fed, that allowed me out of the cage and put him inside. Do you remember how long you were out? Must have already been in the cage. Already had the collar in me. You're lucky Dog didn't devour you. Otherwise, we'd be closer than we are now.
Oh, God.
No. No, I don't think so. Even in here, I have more control than you do. I'm not leaving until the one who controls the collars shows. Not his voice, not his hand, not his lackey. Him. And when he comes to see me, we'll settle things. So go on. Go back to your master. Tell him I'm waiting for him. Dog may follow him. I won't. Then I still win. I'd rather die in this cell than have Dog follow him any longer. Follow his orders, his commands, desperate for recognition. The old man,
I respect it.
he has the need to hold on to the past, to the Madre. I'd rather be free. Let go of this shell than have it cage me any longer. They all wanted their freedom at first. Then, they realized they could get inside the Sierra Madre. After that, their freedom wasn't important anymore. They couldn't let go, just like the old man. So you say you want your freedom? No. Even if you feel that way, it won't last. You'll forget, get greed blind, and you'll turn. Dog? You're not talking to him now, are you? No. Even if you could drag Dog out of his cage, you still couldn't get him out of this cage. I put him here for a reason. If he could have escaped, he would have. So here he stays. Yes, but Dog doesn't know that. We don't share everything. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it causes difficulties. Now I think it's a blessing. It keeps you on that side of the cage. Now, you go fetch. Find your master. Bring him here so we can talk.
I love this character development. I really, really do.
Yes, you could. And once he was out, all starving and hungry, what do you think he would do then? Be careful what cage you open, because he won't go back in it without a fight. He'll tear you apart. He won't care if it kills you both.
Yeah, same here. I think my MMO days are maybe not behind me, but at least on pause. I am really loving this dialogue, by the way.
Dog obeys, yes. Why? Do you have some means of contacting the old man? You don't play it. If you do, I'll find a way to get out of the cage, end you. I'll murder you, crush your arms and legs until... No, you wouldn't. If you did, you won't escape this place alive. I'd shatter every one of your limbs to splinters and leave you here. You think I'm afraid of your collar exploding, killing us? No. I'll leave you breathing, then keep walking until my collar goes cold. I'll prop your broken body in view of the Sierra Madre so you can see what you came to steal. Forever out of reach as you die.
This is just partner number 1. Oh my god.
Prove it. How? Words are worthless. No. No, you're not. Even though dog's more docile, easier to control. You may regret this. This place is where creatures like dog can survive. The people that fill its streets. He is as vicious, more vicious than them. His hunger can help you more than I can. When I am in control, this shell is difficult to fight in. I am not sure you belong here. No, you don't belong here. Yet, you came this far, and I'm not interested in remaining here any longer. I'll unlock the cage. Very well. Lead on.
I have a companion named God. Does that mean I won? Perk gives you a bonus to stealth as well as the ability to step lightly around place traps. Invulnerable hologram. It waved. Oh, Jesus. Please tell me this shuts off those holograms. Controlling the second floor. Can we change it? Set behavior first. Security protocol holograms do just as the name implies, provide security. They perform this function better than most conventional security guards. You don't say. Security holograms have been programmed with this case-specific Sierra Madre protocols. Not only do security holograms look like Sierra Madre personnel, they will respond to threats or unauthorized personnel just as conventional security guards would. Security holograms use field of view sensors to perceive their environment and to aid in pathing, while later versions will feature upgrades that allow for 360-degree perception arc. The memory cells in current hologram emitters can only perceive their environment and a cone in front of them. They can, however, change facing as needed and scan their environment for unauthorized activity. It is best to purchase security hologram emitters in pairs to cover a full view of the environment, as trespassers could conceivably use hologram blind spots to gain access to unauthorized areas. If the security holograms detect unauthorized guests or detect criminal action, they will display a warning caution color to the target. If you believe they ever display this color in error, immediately move away from the hologram's field of view until they resume their normal protocol. If the behavior persists, they will enter engagement mode, turn red, and attempt to subdue targets with their discharge beams. Note, as requested in the service contract, NE has installed EBE systems in all Sierra Madre security hologram emitters. Often, an intruder's natural response is to attack a security hologram, either with fists or with a weapon. Fortunately for the hologram owner, all such assaults are useless against security holograms. They cannot be wounded, damaged, or harmed unless their emitter is destroyed. Attackers spending the time to look for the emitters will usually be rendered unconscious by a hologram's discharge beams before they can disable them, so there is nothing to fear. As with service holograms, security holograms cannot leave emitter range. They will pursue a target to the emitter's perimeter, however. This usually allows the target to be subdued and should present no obstacle to casino security. Hologram emitters are sturdy, yet can still be damaged or broken if enough force is applied. In addition, while they are protected inside sturdy space-age alloys, their circuits are vulnerable to being tampered with. If this occurs, refer to the repair manual that comes with the hologram installation guide. Please call customer support services if this occurs. Do not attempt to repair the emitter yourself. Warning, do not approach an emitter that may have been tampered with. If you must, please wear reflective maintenance gear or metal armor in case of hologram malfunction, and make sure that you can move beyond a hologram's field of view in case problems arise. Okay, so there's an emitter that we need to take down.
That felt good.
Or we need to,
Wish I had a stealth boy instead of this bear trap.
or is that the emitter?
The idiot swallowed.
Miss Keys showed up today, Sans Sinclair, escorted by Mr. Domino. He explained to me Miss Keys had developed a throat infection and asked if the autodoc could help. I asked about the Sierra Madre's autodoc. He said he didn't want to alarm Sinclair. Ran some tests. Miss Keys' voice is fine. Her loss of voice was more listlessness, symptomatic of excessive medics usage. When I tried to speak to her about it, Mr. Domino intervened. I warned them too much of the chem could render a subject comatose, and Domino laughed. I lost my temper, and he said they'd return another time when I was in better spirits. Despise that man. Domino stopped by to ask about the test results and Vera's voice. He seemed concerned that she would lose her voice for the gala event. I told him if Miss Keys was concerned, she should see me, and I would only disclose any medical information to her. I told him the autodocs were more than capable of healing Miss Keys' voice, and if she developed any throat infection, and we could even operate if need be if she tore her larynx. He seemed satisfied by the news, apologized amazingly enough, and left a bottle of wine as a token of his appreciation. I told him I felt it was inappropriate He insisted I dumped it in the trash. Sinclair and Miss Keys, Sinclair and Miss Keys, Domino and Miss Keys. Proposed moving one autodock to casino and scheduling visits. Sinclair agreed. What is going on there? Admitted 3 workers from Puesta del Sol switching station, exposed to some identified airborne toxin from the ventilation system, caused severe lung and tissue damage. Inhalation isn't the problem, it's absorbed through the skin. Researching its effects, the gas, whatever it is, may be building up in vents beneath the town. Asked foreman to look into the source before government inspectors do. Chemical suits arrived today. They're bulky, hard to talk and move in. It was difficult to unlock the class once in place. Had to get one of the staff to help me out of it. I told the construction crew, keep the suits ready while working in the switching station and to be careful with them as we only have a limited number. I asked Sinclair to order more in the event of a leak in the villa and prepared cost estimates for another gas leak to support my case. Didn't need to. He agreed to the request immediately, then asked if we could see the workers and make sure they were all right. If he could see the workers. Okay. Miss Key's insomnia seems to have gotten worse, so we ended up ordering the new autodock upgrades. Must have cost Sinclair a fortune. The new programs for the autodocks ameliorate the effects of exhaustion. Have already spoken to the staff about side effects and dangers of prolonged use. Wanted to make sure they weren't using it to pull double shifts. Sinclair asked if these codes could be downloaded into the public dispensers. The codes aren't compatible, unfortunately. He said he'd look into it. Guess his contacts at Big Mountain will be getting a call soon. Our status? Okay, essential systems, not essential systems. Please inform clinic management before shutting down generator for maintenance. Disengage main power. But now where are we supposed to go?
It up.
The woman before you looks disoriented, pain. She blinks. I didn't press the button. It just went along without me. Okay. Looks like someone caught Jesus. She looks at you, blinks again, then opens her mouth, but nothing comes out. Her mouth is wired shut. She touches her throat, then traces the scar beneath her chin. An alarm. Shaken as she glances at autodock, she recoils and her mouth opens, but again, nothing comes out. She looks back at you, her hands clenched in a fist, her eyes narrow. She takes a step back, studying you. The woman opens her mouth again, winces, then frowns and drags a finger across her throat in a slow motion. She looks more angry than pain now. Frowning, she touches her throat again, gently, then brushes her collar. Her frown deepens. Her eyes narrow as she traces the edge of the collar until she finds the lock. She begins to press it with her fingers. She looks surprised, then notices your collar, then raises an eyebrow. The dialogue goes by so fast. I'm trying my best to keep up here. She frowns, narrows her eyes, and slowly shakes her head. She shakes her head again and draws a line in the air between the two of you. She shakes her head once, then crosses her arms. She frowns, glances at the collar, looks back at you. She makes a circle with her hands, puts her hand over her eyes. She nods at you, then lowers her hand from your eyes, shakes her head. She just... Why did they make her dialogue go that fast? It's so fast. I can't keep up with it. She studies you again, then her expression softens slightly. She shakes her head slowly and gives a silent sigh. She nods at you, then raises an eyebrow and nods at the door. Christine glances at your follower, shakes her head, and points at you, her, and nods in the direction of the fountain. Jesus. Christine stops, glances at the speaker, then glances at your collar, frowning. She taps the collar, then opens and closes her hand really fast. Now, why doesn't that scroll? Okay. She points at your Pip-Boy, her collar, then your collar. After a second, she then opens and closes her hand a little slower. She is about to nod, then stops, points at herself, and shakes her head. She points at your collar, then hers, then nods at your Pip-Boy. She makes a triangle motion. I'm going to have to go back and watch my own VOD and pause it. She frowns and slowly shakes her head. She opens her mouth and makes the motion of tuning a dial, then points at herself. She nods once, and then again, points at the two of you, and then the Pip-Boy. She nods and motions for you to go ahead. She moves her finger in a circle, frowns, then drags her hand over her eyes. She raises them again, points to you. She nods, she raises an eyebrow, points at you, makes a circle, and points at your feet. Oh man, I have mentats. I wonder if it'll let me do that again. She lowers her hand and circles her finger inward until she's pointing at the spot between you. Still pointing at the ground between you two, she raises an eyebrow. She waits. After a second, she raises her eyebrow again. She looks at you for a second, studying you, then nods. She points at you, then points at the casino, then she slowly shakes her head, then points in the direction of the main gate. She looks at you for a moment, glances at your collar, shrugs. She lightly grabs her neck with both hands, holds it for a moment, then her hands fall away. She looks at you, looks at the exit, and nods. She slowly shakes her head, then points at the ground. She frowns, glances in the direction of the casino, then the exit, and then back in the direction of the casino. She shrugs. Without strength or conviction, she isn't looking at you when she does. Do I have... I think if I take the mentats, that might unlock that other... Didn't I find some? I did.
Big plot.
Look at me, I'm smarter now. Not enough. I need a perception. See? She smiles. Nods. That's what I wanted to check. She repeats the circling motion again. This time she lowers her hand and circles her finger inward until... Okay, that's the same thing she did before. Okay, that's the same one. Okay, this is the same conversation we had. Okay.
Have a seat, and then we'll talk.
Can't believe the idiot swallowed his collar.
The Sierra Madre. Beauty, isn't she? She the one who invited you here? Or maybe you didn't catch her voice on the radio. Woke up confused
The autosave isn't
like
too far
some
back.
of the others. At least you're still breathing. By the way, don't get up or make any sudden motions, no matter how uncomfortable that chair gets.
Yeah, she's the same.
The cushion's just for show. Great. A moron. Just what I need. Look, that seat you're sitting in, it's a bomb. Go boom. Get up without my permission. I'll blast your ass so far through your head, it'll turn the moon cherry pie red.
Oh, great.
So, let's keep this sweet and polite, and finish our conversation with no misunderstandings. And that's what I've missed, a rapt audience. Just because I work in entertainment doesn't mean I'm a
None?
moron. I heard my necktie.
I figured that one
beeping.
wouldn't hurt.
I know what that means. I'm part of this somehow. I want out of this contract. And if you put me in it, I'm not going to be too happy. So whatever's going on here, if you're part of all this, you're taking orders from me. Good, good. Then we're in business. I may be a betting man, but I like it when the odds are in our favor. If you're here with who I think, then I'd rather have you on my side than his. And it's in the hole. You want to live, I want what's in the Madre. Real simple. Wait just a minute. I'm not walking out there on my own. I know what's out there. It's why I've planted a minefield, shotguns, and explosives all the way on the road to my little boudoir here. So we go together or we're not going at all. I'll split my hand in blackjack when the time's right. I'm not splitting up in this town, trust me. That's a good point. All right. Let me grab some smokes, and I'll meet you at the fountain. Don't have to take the long way back. There's a shortcut.
What a crew. Like a safe house of some sort?
Well done. Now for the festivities and your part in all this. The owner of the Sierra Madre, for whatever reason, keyed the grand opening to the gala event itself. It needs to be fired off in order for the casino doors to open. As I've discovered, one person can't do it. So get your team into position indicated on your Pip-Boy, then trigger it properly. You're so close now. Don't let me down. Otherwise, I'll have to rely on the next team. I've unlocked the west and east gates to Puesta del Sol and Salida del Sol. Now that you've survived the villa, I need to get to my position. You don't need me to hold your hand anymore. I'll keep monitoring you via the transceivers through the villa. If I need to offer guidance, I will. A display of lights, fireworks, music in the streets. A pre-war festival to mark the casino's opening. The bomb struck first. It is of no consequence, only firing the event is. Get the three in position, then travel to your position in Salida del Sol and trigger the gala. After that, the real work begins. Perhaps you think this is a simple robbery, a cheap casino heist. No, this is a heist of the centuries. We're not plundering Sierra Madre. We're plundering history, taking from the old world itself. It won't let its secrets go easily, not without a fight. I wouldn't expect anything less. I'd suggest taking the FEV reject to his position first. Although you may need his brutality and strength elsewhere first. As easy as the villa was to navigate, the outlying areas of the villa are far more dangerous, thicker with the ghost people, traps, and toxins. Use your team as I use you. Listen to your caller. Watch where you step. You're no use to me dead.